25-year-old man is behind bars after attacking a female teenage McDonald's worker, leaving her with significant injuries. On the 7th of April, Johnny Ricks dragged 15-year-old Aria Lynch by her hair across the restaurant's parking lot along Parker Road in Florissant, Missouri, slamming her head into the concrete, stomping on her head and punching her in the face. Authorities said that Johnny entered the restaurant with a group while Aria was working behind the counter. He became agitated and destroyed a self-service screen by throwing a tray at it. When other staff walked him outside, he became enraged and pulled Aria to the ground, stomping on her head twice. The argument began when Johnny and the group became hostile while trying to use the drive-thru. Aria said it was getting loud and they'd been obnoxious in the drive-thru, so he said if you want to get your order taken, step inside. The group then entered the restaurant, menacing staff, throwing items and spitting on at least 4 employees. The attack left Aria with a concussion, fractured skull, lacerations, a broken nose and frontal lobe damage. She was treated and released from hospital after undergoing surgery. Johnny was arrested and charged with assault and property damage. He remains held at the St. Louis Justice Center on a $150,000 cash-only bond. The investigation into the matter continues. An elderly woman is behind bars after she robbed a bank. On Friday the 19th of April, 74-year-old Ann May walked into the All Group Financial Credit Union on Creekside Drive in Hamilton, Ohio with a gun and demanded money from employees. Ann left the scene in a 2014 Hyundai Elantra and was later found at a home a few miles away on Parrish Avenue in Hamilton. Ann admitted to robbing the bank as officers took her into custody. Authorities said that Ann did not have a prior criminal history. She was booked into the Butler County Jail on charges of aggravated robbery with a firearm and tampering with evidence. The investigation into the matter continues. The parents of 5-week-old twin girls who were beaten to death last year have been arrested. 21-year-old Angelina Belinda Cauldron and 21-year-old Fernanda Vega both faced 2 charges of injury to a child's serious bodily injury. At 11:08 a.m. on the 4th of October 2023, authorities responded to a home at 2107 Linden Creek Lane in Houston, Texas, after receiving a call regarding 2 infants who were found unresponsive. Fernando told dispatch that he found them in the crib motionless and not breathing. While on the phone, he was given instructions on how to perform CPR, but he was unsuccessful. Medics and police arrived, but were also unable to revive the infants. Police said that they found the deceased infants lying on a sofa with discolored skin and multiple bruises. During an interview with police, Fernando said that the twins were fussy throughout the night and he put them in the bassinet where they had fallen asleep. Angelina said that she saw the babies that morning, but didn't wake them up because she was on her way to work. Fernando told investigators that he left the girls sleeping in their grandmother's care at their home at 10:30 a.m. while he took Angelina to work, only to find the babies unresponsive when he got back home. He then called Angelina stating that the kids weren't waking up and they're not doing nothing before calling 911. An autopsy determined that the children died from blunt force trauma. Their children had multiple fractures throughout their bodies and head. Both had suffered brain injuries and were also dehydrated and malnourished. Doctors determined that the injuries were likely caused from 3 separate incidents due to a mix of new and old injuries, possibly being weeks old. Authorities said that the twins, who were born prematurely, hadn't received checkups since being released from the hospital. Angelina told police that the twins had been sick, but they did not seek medical care. On Friday the 19th of April, Angelina and Fernando were identified as the suspects in the twins' deaths and were arrested without incident. They remain held at the Harris County Jail on $750,000 bonds. The investigation into the matter continues. Authorities are investigating a murder-suicide which left multiple people dead and another injured. At around 12:20 a.m. on Saturday the 20th of April, authorities responded to 249 Miami Avenue in Weirton, West Virginia in reference to a shooting inside a home. Upon entering the premises, police discovered 25-year-old Jordan Bettino and 26-year-old Zoe Antonio deceased inside with gunshot wounds. A third female victim, 30-year-old Desiree McDiffert, was found alive suffering from gunshot wounds and was transported to a local hospital where she remains in a stable condition. A suspect of the shootings, 33-year-old Brennan Bailey, was also found deceased inside the home with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities said that there were 4 juveniles inside the house at the time who were safe and unharmed. The motive in the attack and the relationship between the suspect and the victims is unclear, as investigation into the matter continues.